Hello friends, it's Shari. Today I have a really fun card mixing some little stamped images with a really big die cut image. So I thought I would make this fun card with the treat card stamp set. I'm using the little critters from this set, but I'm going to create my own really big ice cream with the Ice Cream You Scream die set. So first I'm stamping my little critters in some jet black ink. I also have that cute little spoon which I'm going to put in the bear's hand. He's going to be at the top of my big ice cream cone. And I've stamped those in jet black ink so I can do some coloring with my Copic markers. This coloring will be very simple, just using a couple colors for some shading and some highlights. So I'm just using two colors on my fox. I've colored the shadow areas first with the darker color, and then I'm coloring the highlights and blending out the shadows with the lighter color. I can always add some more darker color if I need to. I'll do the same thing with the rabbit with some warm grays. Again, coloring those shaded areas first, and then I'll blend out with a lighter color. And then of course I have my little bear, and I like to use some E70s when I color these little bears just because it's a kind of grayish brown and it looks a little bit different than the warm reddish browns of the fox. So again, I'm coloring the darker color first, and then I'll blend out with the lighter. And then I can always go back with the darker color and add some more shadow. Now once I have all of these colored, I will go in with my little pink, light pink color here and add in the pink of the ears and the noses and some little dots on the cheeks, which you'll see me add in just a little bit. For the fox and the rabbit, the little white areas, I'm using a very pale E000, and here I'm adding those little pink cheeks. And of course, I don't want to forget coloring the little spoon. I will cut these out with the coordinating dies for the treat card stamp set and have these cute little images ready to go for my card. I'm just going to line them up and hold them in place with a little bit of low tack tape. So I'll set these aside as I work on the next part of my card, which is the big giant ice cream cone. This is with the Ice Cream You Scream die set, and you can see you can make two different ice cream cones or a popsicle, so you can make any big treat that you wanted. I'm cutting the cone from some craft cardstock and the ice cream part from some ballet slipper cardstock. I wanted to add some shading to these die cuts, so I've put them on my grip mat here, and I'm just adding some dough ink to the cone of the ice cream cone, and you can see it really makes those really fun stitching details kind of stand out. And then for the ice cream, I'm using some peachy keen ink just to kind of add some shading to this pink ice cream. Don't worry, we're going to add some more really fun things to this ice cream as well. So I'll set these aside, and then I'm pulling out the Pint-Sized Patterns Summertime Paper Collection. Now I'm showing you the 6x6 pad, which you could use, but I'm actually going to use the 12x12 sheets for my card today, but either one would work fine. So I have that blue with the little dots, that will be my background. And then I have the white with the colorful dots. I'm cutting the blue out with the largest of the outside in stitch rectangles. And then for the colorful dots, I'm going to use the second largest large stitched oval. And this will give me a focal panel for my little images. I'm also using one of the new Stitch sentiment banners to cut out a sentiment banner from the Petite paper pack, this purple with the little hearts, and that's where my sentiment will go. I'm using the sentiment from the Treat Cart stamp set that says, "Have the sweetest day." And I've just lined these up on the block and I'm stamping them in some black ink right onto that stitch sentiment banner. And then I wanted to have a colorful border around my blue panel, and I decided to use the purple grid paper from that same paper collection, and I'm just cutting a piece to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 so that it fits my card base perfectly. And then when I add my stitched rectangle panel, I'll have that little bit of purple peeking out on all four sides, creating a really pretty frame. Now for my oval, I want to pop this up, so I'm going to add some foam tape all over the back. And this will create that focal panel that's popped up off the card. So I'm just lining this up with my grid mat to make sure everything's nice and straight. And now we have that beautiful polka dot oval panel. Now I can start to assemble my images and decorate my card. So first I want to add my ice cream to the cone. So I've just added a little bit of liquid glue to hold that in place. And then I will put foam squares all over the back of this because I want it to pop up off of that panel as well. But I don't have it glued down just yet because I want to add this little bear at the top, like he's peeking out over the top of the ice cream, which I just think is so cute. So I'm going to add him up there, and then I can pull off the liner paper from all of those foam squares and add this on top. I just didn't want to stick it down until that little bear was in place. I also have this little spoon, which I thought about putting in his other hand, but I decided it would be really cute if he's holding it up like he has won a prize with this giant ice cream cone. Now the little fox and the little rabbit, they're going to go at the bottom. And I'm going to add some foam squares, and then when I put them on here, I'm tucking their little paw that's sticking out behind the ice cream cone like they have a hold of it and they're ready to take a bite. Then I can add my sentiment banner, and I'm going to flip this over so I can see where to add my foam squares. This way I can see where to avoid that ice cream cone and also where they're going to hit the oval. This is just a fun little trick to make sure I have them in the right place. And I decided to pull off the little fox. He was kind of a little bit lower than the bunny, and you could really tell because his feet were tucked behind the sentiment banner. So I just popped him off and moved him up. Now, of course, we need to add some glitter, some sparkle, and some embellishments to this ice cream. So I'm starting out with my Stardust stickles, as I always do, but this time I'm going to use them as a glue to add some more embellishments. So I have these cute little clay circles, kind of like confetti. To me, they look like sprinkles, and they're perfect to put on this ice cream. And I'm just picking them up and dropping them into those stickles. So as those stickles dry, it will be a glue and it will hold them in place. I'm going to add a little bit more now that I have those confetti pieces in there. I'm adding some to the bottom as well. And then to add even more shimmer and shine, I'm using some chunky glitter and a little spoon, and I'm picking a little bit up and dropping it right into those stickles. So again, this will hold this chunky glitter in place because it is glue. I'm just knocking off all the excess, and then look at all that sparkle and fun on this ice cream cone. Don't you just want to eat it? Now I have some scrap pieces of paper from the Pint Size Patterns Summertime Collection, and I'm using the hearts from the Hearts and Stars Skinny Tag Die to cut out a bunch of little heart embellishments. And I'm just arranging them around on my card until I have the look that I want. And then once I have them in place, what I like to do is go around and pick each one up with my little tool and add a little dot of glue and drop them back into place. And then here is my finished card with that big ice cream treat, all that fun embellishment and glitters and sprinkles. And I love that the treat card animals are ready for a big giant snack. So I hope this inspires you to maybe mix your stamps with those big image die cuts and see what you can create. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.